Just when they thought it was over, in November 2009, it happened again.
It's a distinct advantage for us to have the regional troops here to assist us.
The Ministry of National Security was called upon once again to continue its legacy in securing national and international guests for a second time, as Trinidad and Tobago was given the opportunity to host yet another international conference, the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting 2009.
Chogm was held in this country from November 27th to 29th under the theme Partnering for a More Equitable and Sustainable Future.
Every 2 years, these nations meet in one of the member states to discuss political and social matters of mutual interest.
The host nation's president or prime minister assumes chairmanship over these meetings. Trinidad and Tobago, in this regard, is deemed as the smallest country in the world to ever host two international conferences, the 5th Summit of the Americas and the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in the same year.
Leaders for Chogm included Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and over 50 other world leaders.
Ensuring their protection was the #1 priority for this country's security forces.
Our borders, ports, forts and cities were secured, ensuring protection for all the delegates and heads throughout their stay.
Support also came from our CARICOM brothers and sisters: Bahamas, Belize, Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Kitts Nevis, and Suriname.
We're going to do what we have to do here, help Trinidad and Tobago to ensure that Chogm is, safe for all the contingent country members that will be represented here.
Well, the morale is high. One, most of the guys like Trinidad have been here before in another capacity other than a soldier. So a lot of them like Trinidad, and they're really excited to come here. So the morale is high. We're looking forward to the 2 weeks that we're here.
The men are eager, they're raring to go, and they're very upbeat.
Yes, very enthusiastic approaching this task ahead. They were briefed on the accomplishments of the last contingent, and I think they're just raring to go to provide security for this Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting.
I'm pleased to say all of the preparations for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting have now been implemented. All systems go. We have welcomed all of our CARICOM troops, as we did for the 5th Summit of the Americas, and we are confident that Trinidad and Tobago will be hosting a successful Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting.
Security was at its highest, and having gained the experience from hosting the 5th Summit of the Americas in April of this year, the Republic, through its Ministry of National Security, improved and mastered all security arrangements.
The summit was a precursor in that lessons learned from the summit will be looked at and executed within Chogm.
The difference taken by the security forces on this occasion was robust preparation. And when I say robust, I mean that we went in intricate details, so that training was an important factor at every level. Information, detailed information to sector heads, to the officers who had to perform, to the foreign troops. And there were regular briefings and debriefings to ensure that every detail was spelled out and every area of activity was understood.
Leading up to the major event, officers went through rigorous training in crowd control, riot suppression, air, land, and sea surveillance. However, protecting was not the only major task for the security officers.
They were also tasked with carrying out a rigorous campaign, ensuring that the public was well educated and informed of the traffic arrangements, security boundaries, and many other likely changes during Chogm.
The strategic direction has changed slightly, so that you will not have major parts of Port of Spain and other areas being closed off to the public, because the Commonwealth brings with it a family atmosphere, one that we are trying to encourage participation as much as possible with the public.
One of the first steps to the major meeting for the security forces was consultation with regional and international security bodies, tabling their needs and requests during Chogm. During this time, committees were formed and responsibilities were also assigned to the 5 sectors that were formed.
For weeks leading up to the major meeting, troops from the region, participating countries, and immediate neighbors of Trinidad and Tobago, for example, Colombia, dispatched their troops to lend a hand of support.
Divers use basic scuba equipment and conduct visual inspections of both vessels and the piers, looking for underwater improvised explosive devices. This task is done on a daily basis, and it's done by both Colombian as well as Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard divers.
Troops were met and briefed at the airport by Gold Commander ACP Stephen Williams, Senior Military Advisor Lieutenant Colonel Danley Wyke, and other members of the local planning committee. Following this, troops underwent training and orientation sessions to fully prepare for the task ahead.
I would want to state categorically at this point in time that we are fully prepared for the event from a security perspective. We've done extensive planning following the Summit of the Americas conference in April. We've moved straight into our preparation for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting with a comprehensive team formed through what is referred to as OPACs, Operation Planning and Coordinating Staff. And that's a joint team comprising all the various agencies under the Ministry of National Security.
Several dry runs were also successfully conducted at the Piarco International Airport and in Port of Spain to ensure full preparedness for Chogm.
With the advent of Chogm and even with the advent of the 5th Summit of the Americas, I have mobilized the entire Defense Force to support the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in their endeavor to ensure a safe and secure environment for the staging of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting.
The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting was preluded by a number of forums, namely the Youth Forum, which opened in Tobago, then the People's Forum, which was held at Cascadia Hotel in St. Anne's, to the Business Forum on the cruise ship Serenade of the Sea. During these forums, the security forces and other supporting agencies were put to the test. Preparedness and alertness were fully tested.
As head of security at the National Academy of Performing Arts, I wish to state at this time that all areas are under control. Officers have been posted to strategic locations, and the dignitaries and all heads of delegations are seated within the confines of the National Academy of Performing Arts.
On the day of the actual meeting, the security forces were deployed to strategic locations for surveillance, personal bodyguard service, static, traffic and mobile duty in the event of emergencies and eventualities. Troops were also tasked with the protection of the spouses of the various delegates who took part in a special spouses program.
At the end of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with regional and international security forces, showed that they were up to the task of securing citizens, visitors, and world leaders.
I'd like to especially thank all our international, regional and local forces and agencies for their contribution to the successful security of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting 2009.